to Somaliland, and Somaliland is a territory that is not considered a country, but it is self-governed. It is similar to Taiwan, if you will, Taiwan to China. So you see, if anyone comes out now and say we recognize Taiwan, you see China's stance, right? That is war. That is war. That's a threat to China's sovereignty, they say. Now, it's the very same thing with Somalia and Somaliland. So Ethiopia said that it would recognize Somaliland a few months ago, and that caused a whole kerfuffle in the region. Now, Ethiopia also, a few weeks ago, we saw posturing between Ethiopia and Israel that was frightening. The Africa Union headquarters is in Ethiopia. Israel has observer status at the Africa Union. And Israel and Ethiopia entered into some kind of arrangement just a few weeks ago, probably 2 months ago. So we saw all of that posturing, right? Which was very frightening to us, considering what was happening in Palestine. But Ethiopia is between a rock and a hard place. And they've been here before, they'll get through it. But now that Israel has said that it is recognizing Somaliland, now this is almost, from a geopolitical perspective, this is almost saying that Israel has now declared war on Yemen. I know a lot of the analysis is not looking at Yemen, but I'm going Yemen because people are talking more about Djibouti and the waterways and all of that. But if Israel is normalizing relations with Somaliland, and Somaliland is saying, well, they can come in now and they can have their own bases and they can have their offices and so on. Look again at the map I asked you to look at just now, and you see the Horn of Africa there. You see where Somaliland is just curving around because Ethiopia curves around. Somalia and Somaliland. And look at Somaliland, how it is a guard for Yemen. They're just looking at each other across the Gulf of Aden. Yemen and the Houthis in particular, because Yemen is a complex area, isn't it? So, because everybody's there. There are about 10 to 13, probably 15 international military bases in Djibouti, right? And Djibouti is across the river from Yemen. And when you think of how, if you just, all these international military bases in Djibouti, just pointing to the Red Sea, and when you look just behind Djibouti at Sudan and just up the top at Congo, and you wonder, what's happening in the region. But then that's a whole other conversation. Let's go back to Yemen. So the Houthis are about to respond to this, This is pretty fluid. And I think I'll spend some time in the new year looking at this. Turkey has come out against this recognition by Israel of Somaliland. And who else? I think there are 2 other countries. But it is causing a stir in the region, and a very serious one. Let me see if I can find who else. So just to say, Israel has announced that it's recognizing Somaliland as an independent and sovereign state. It's the first country to do so because Ethiopia hasn't done so. And we do have to go to a break. This is a conversation that I will return to. The Africa Union has said that it strongly rejects the move. The Africa Union headquarters is in Ethiopia. Ethiopia also wants to recognize Somaliland because Somaliland has said to Ethiopia, if you recognize us, we'll give you access to the waterways. And that's important for trade. The African Union has said that this will set a dangerous precedent. The Arab League has condemned the action. They say Israel's action in recognizing Somaliland is a violation of international law. This area is very important, This is why a grave violation of international law, and they've warned Israel that this could destabilize the Horn of Africa. And believe me, it will destabilize the Horn of Africa. So here we go again. The European Union has reaffirmed its respect for Somalia's territorial integrity, and it has urged dialogue between Somalia and Somaliland. The OIC and countries are condemning the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. They have also unequivocally rejected the recognition, and they have reaffirmed support for Somalia's sovereignty. And of course, Somalia has demanded that Israel reverse its recognition of Somaliland. It has said the decision is unacceptable aggression. And then we have militant groups like Al-Shabaab say that if this happens, it will be resistance like you've never seen before. They say that they would fight any attempt by Israel to claim or use parts of Somaliland. And what is the U.S. position? Donald Trump, the U.S. president, has said that the United States will not follow Israel in recognizing Somaliland at this time. But this is as close as they got to anything. But so this is a fluid situation. It's an ongoing situation. The Horn of Africa has strategic importance. And Somaliland, if you look at your maps, it's sitting along the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea corridor. It is a critical maritime checkpoint. It links the Indian Ocean to the Canal de Suez, the Suez Canal, and it controls and influences global trade routes, energy shipments, and military logistics. So Israel has made a strategic calculus in this at this time. They know that this recognition will be interpreted as effort to secure strategic depths near the Red Sea. They know that Somaliland is offering potential intelligence, surveillance, and logistical access, which is close to Yemen, to Djibouti, and to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. And there is a whole lot to unpack here as we watch what's happening in the Horn of Africa as we go into year one. Many African states fear that the recognition could encourage separatist movement. Already we've heard that, so they're very right to fear that. The Africa Union is what we're watching right now. Wow, there's just so much to say about this. But I'll return to this in January as it unfolds, right? This is a direct and a strategic move by Israel. So here we have Israel flexing its muscles while the U.S. Armada is in the Caribbean, and Russia, China, and Iran are watching this. That is happening on this side. Ethiopia is in the crosshairs. Ethiopia will have security spillover risks, and we'll talk about that another time. Introduce Danny. Danny Ray, how you doing, my brother?
Good morning, Carl. I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Goodness. Welcome to the studio. Good to have you here in studio with us. You're no stranger to IRFM, because tell us about your relationship with IRFM over the years.
I'm no stranger to IRFM. I've been here a few times.
And working in we talk about you starting in Kingston, and we're listening to the song that recently recorded on the backside of Hurricane Melissa and the damage there. So we'll go back to that. But tell us about your musical journey.
Well, I started singing in Jamaica a while ago. Jackie Edwards was who influenced me. He was like my idol at the time. You know, and it happens that I went to England at an early age, about 17, just after I left school.
Oh, we're not hearing you so well. So if you,
can you hear me?
Much better, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So when I went to England, I started. First of all, I went in the Air Force, because my mother wanted me to go in the Air Force.
The RAF?
Yes, that's right. And I was there singing. I went in a nightclub one night, and I just went up on the stage and started singing.
You remember which song you were singing?
I can't. Those time I used to sing soul songs.
It's soul songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Otis Conley and type of Otis Redding.
Right.
Type of
And this was in England?
No, this was in Germany.
This was in Germany now?
Yeah.
Oh.
I got posted in Germany. And there was this nightclub that everybody used to go and get up. We used to have American bass there and English. So I just went up one night and started singing.
Open mic.
Aye. Yeah. So one night I went in there and some German came to me and said, listen, I've got a band, I would like you to come and sing with us. I said, I can't do that because I'm in the Air Force.
Right. So what were you doing in the Air Force?
I was air traffic controller.
Okay.
You know.
Wow.
So when I started singing now with the band, I did start singing with the band and we got very popular.
Yeah.
Touring all over the place. So I bought myself out. I was signed for 5 years and I bought myself out.
Oh, to leave the RAF?
Yes, yeah.
So you had to pay to leave?
Yeah, you got to buy yourself out.
How much you pay for yourself?
Them times about £500.
Yeah, it was over money them time, right? Yes. Yes.
So I bought myself out and then I went back to England and formed this group, the Falcons.
Ah.
Right? So after we formed the Falcons, I was playing in this nightclub one night. And that's where Jackie Edwards, Jimmy Cliff, Count Prince, they were all in the club, right? And after I finished singing, Jackie came to me and said, listen, I want to take you to our record company. That was Island Record at the time.
Yes.
But Island Record had two parts, Trojan label. Island Record and Trojan was one company. Right? Then they split. Island went to St. Peter's Square and the pop side of it become Island and the reggae side of it become Trojan.
It's funny because that is not discussed a lot. That is actually one company. Hang on there, let me take a quick break. Song you heard me play just now, Jamaica, wrote and recorded by him because of, or just as a response to what we went through as a nation outside of the Hurricane Melissa. But Danny, as you heard him mention just now, was also a very good friend of Uncle Jimmy Cliff. And we're going to be talking a little bit about his relationship with Jimmy Cliff also. So in that club, you're performing with your band, Falcons, and you just name some international star who sit down inside, eh?
Yeah.
Jimmy Cliff. Who else was there?
Jimmy Cliff, Jackie Edwards, Count Prince. That club from Ahmed Ali, anybody who is anybody in the music business go to that club in London. It's called the Q Club. The Q Club. Very famous club. All right? Yes, I know. So everybody was there. Yeah. So Jackie went back to the head of Trojan, which is Lee Guptill, and he said, listen, I found a singer, you got to sign this guy. Right? But before that, I was signed to MCA. Okay. When I came back to England, I was signed to MCA, which was like unheard of because MCA was a large company. Right. And I was like one of the first Jamaicans to sign like a major label in the UK. That's a big deal. Oh, yeah. You know? Yeah. So Trojan had to negotiate with MCA because MCA didn't know about reggae. I was singing reggae that time. And they didn't know how to market it. So I decided to leave MCA and go to Trojan. So you have to buy yourself out of that again? No, well, Trojan did that. Yes. Yeah. So that's how I actually went to Trojan. Right. So do I have that song with me here? The one that which one we just mentioned? Playboy. Playboy. Okay. Yeah, it's on the CD here. Which track? All right. Okay. So, but tell me about the journey. But me not see it. Me don't see Playboy on this album. You have to look good because the writing. Oh, it's number 1. It's red. No, I don't think it's number 1. It says Playboy number 1. Number 2, Make Me Your Number 1. Okay. Right. Just see. So it can play on the air. Yeah, man. Come and listen to it. Yeah, man. Because you were doing all clean songs anyway. But because it named Playboy, that's why I ask you. So this was the first song that you recorded for Trojan. That was the first song, but funny enough, that wasn't the A side. That came out as the B side. That was the B side. I had a song called The Choking Kind. was the A side. But then, who told you so?
Are you ready? Did you write this song?
Jackie Edwards.
Jackie Edwards. You're gonna put it off on
Wrote it for me.
You're gonna put this off on Jackie Edwards, right? Okay, well, okay, all right. And space. Exactly what was happening around that time.
Thank you.
So this is Playboy. That was 1977 on the Trojan label.
And that was recorded right here in Jamaica, the Dynamic Studio with a group named the Now Generation.
Oh,
Mikey Chung, and his brothers, and Mikey Booth. They were like the top at the time.
Yes, yes. So this song dominated the UK reggae charts. Tell us about that.
Yes, as I was saying, it came out as a B-side. But there's certain clubs in London started playing this one, right? Till the record company had to switch side after a year. And then the rest was history. I mean, whenever I do shows anywhere in the world, America, Europe, and when I just started, as soon as I started singing, I don't need to sing anymore.
And you said that Lloyd Coxon had a role in making this.
He was the one who flipped it, and he used to play it like 3 times a night in the clubs. So he was the one who loved this side of it.
Yes.
So then the record company, people start phoning up the record company, say, listen, you need to switch the song.
So what did you have for the A side?
The Choking Kind. It's on the album as well.
The Choking Kind.
Yeah.
All right. And it turns out that Lloyd Coxon flipped the thing.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
So,
but I still love the choking side, the choking kind. You know.
all right. So you are both, as we said earlier, you're a singer, you're a songwriter, and obviously you write for others.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of those persons that would recognize.
Well, the biggest. There's a white group in London. It's like their biggest group since the Beatles. They're called the Clash. You heard of Clash?
No.
Very big punk group.
Okay.
Very big punk group. So I did a song called Revolution Rock. That was Sly and Robbie, and and some journalists heard the song and took it to the Clash and said, listen to this, and they did it on their London Calling album.
Okay.
Which is one of the biggest selling album, 27 million copies.
Yeah, you're supposed to be still getting getting royalties off
and that was from 1984.
Wow.
I'm still
so that was one of the biggest hit. In terms of writing for artists, Jamaican artists.
No, not much.
Okay, so this is.
Here's me to dead girl. Oh, it's the choking kind. That's all.
All right, so this is the song that was supposed to be, in terms of how the album was recorded, or the what was
the
it?
single,
The single. The hit, and then
this was supposed to be the A side.
All right. So from there, you branched out into also behind the scenes, right? Producing stuff?
Well, that's long after Trojan folded, Trojan went to the...
Not DJs were heading into those spaces. Because I found myself in those spaces, you know? And you're coming back with a whole heap of vinyl, 45 and 33.
Yep.
You know, so Jetstar, a lot of the stuff we were playing here, Jetstar.
Jetstar was the biggest company in the world for reggae music.
Yes.
I remember that's where reggae broke in England. You know, so we were the biggest, and then after they become VP, and then So I was the A&R. I was the A&R manager at Jetstar for like 8 years.
What did that entail?
Well, it entailed me searching for all the good records in Jamaica. So I'm in touch with all the artists in Jamaica, all the producers, right? And I choose what record was released in England.
Yes. What a power. It's very powerful, that. So I can just imagine how the artists were seeking you out.
Exactly.
Right.
Sometimes when I come to Jamaica, and I go to a studio, but I'm playing this one.
So talk about some of the artists that you made big through those selection in the UK.
Okay, quite a few. I did an album with Luciano, The Great Controversy. That was one of his big albums.
Yes.
Ambalik, of course. I recorded Freddie McGregor. I did a couple of albums with J.C. Lodge, reggae country. What I did, I met J.C. in Jamaica. I came to do some work in the studio. And I met J.C. and we were talking. And she said, I'm coming to England to relocate,
Yeah.
So I said, when you come and check me. So she came to Jetstar. I spoke to Mr. Palmer, who was the owner for Jetstar. She said, Danny, we have to find a leech how to work on a record, JC, find something special.
Yeah.
So we decided to do some country songs, country and western songs. So what I did between me and JC, we chose all the platinum selling country songs. And then we did them in reggae.
Yeah.
And that's how we marketed as reggae country. So I did 2 of them, volume 1, volume 2.
Well, yeah. So I've been to Jetstar once or twice, but we probably wouldn't recognize each other now.
Yeah.
me weighing 95 pounds and don't know exactly what I'm looking for. Must have been a real little, but so I know the space, and I know, also know Mr. Palmer.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I met Mr. Palmer. So, but this is for us. This is a piece that is missing. Sometimes when we talk about the Jamaican music and how the reach and the impact in the UK and the role that the United Kingdom play in globalizing reggae music. This is one of the areas that even when we are discussing locally, we don't talk about much. When the purists write the books, you can find that there.
That's right.
In all of the reggae books, they're there. But when we talk about this, and it's a knowledge that is being lost if we do not read the books, so how important do you think it is for us to reiterate, underscore, lock this in, and to continue to talk about the role that the UK played in the globalization of the reggae music, or globalizing reggae music?
Yeah, you're right. There's still a lot of people that didn't know that. England played a big role in popularizing reggae music.
Yes.
Because we had all the first hits from Millie Small, My Boy Lollipop, Desmond Decker, people like Barry Biggs. Barry Biggs had I think he was one of the Jamaican that had the most hits in Jamaica.
Oh, really?
Barry Biggs had about 5 hit records in Jamaica. I put Chakademus and Pliers as well.
Yes.
So England really did play a big part in popularizing reggae music.
And how did you work with the radio stations there? Because I know, BBC, I suppose, would have been one of the stations where
where the music wasn't played.
Until Rankin Miss P.
Yeah, and that's long.
And that's just the other day,
What we had to do was make from our own radio station. They call it Pirates.
They were call us Pirates. They were call us Eagle Broadcasters.
Exactly.
So that's where that came from.
Exactly.
Now, I've worked at many pirate stations in the UK, and I've also worked at the BBC, so let me just say.
Okay.
But I've worked at many pirate stations. So I know how the pirate stations run, because sometimes you have to just take up everything and run.
Yeah, man. Come and take your transmitters, and the next time, sometimes we have all 3, 4. I had a pirate station as well, I mean, I was involved back in the pirate station, buying the equipment and things like that.
Which station was that?
One of the first one in England, JBC,
and then you had RGR after that.
Same thing, and they switched to RGR, the same one.
I used to be in and out of that RGR thing, not working because my brethren were working.
In a little corner.
Yes.
Roundwood Road.
Yes. And then in Birmingham now, there was one in the center. What's the center called? The Pan-African Center.
In the city center.
In the city center, but in the Pan-African building.
I forget the name of it, there's a blind guy, DJ used to be there as well.
Yeah. So some others were just in people's bedrooms.
Oh yeah.
In a people's kitchen.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So that's how we popularized reggae music.
Yeah.
By the pirate station.
Yes.
So we didn't need the BBC or the this or the that. Sound system and pirate radio station.
Right. Let me take. And then they began to regularize them, because I think There was one in Birmingham that ultimately became mainstream. Just recently, though, not so long ago.
No, but the first one was Choice.
Choice.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That was
Choice FM.
That was the first one to
Daddy Ernie.
Yeah.
Yes, I know Daddy Ernie very well.
Exactly.
Okay, Daddy Ernie used to report on this program. He used to be, my British link, my UK link that reported back on this program back in the day.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. That's quite something. So, in England, they getting the music out to the people, a big part of that was through pirate stations that littered the UK. These were black people doing this, a lot of them with Jamaican heritage.
Oh yeah, most of Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Most of Jamaicans.
Jamaicans are honor,
Don't worry about me.
This is phenomenal. Yeah. And I think even the UK in its own history must write about the thing. Yeah. So when who's think them are calling pirates? Is Annika, was it? No? Illegal broadcasters just because they play what it is.
No, it's not Annika.
No, one station couldn't run the nation, two stations. I will sing the song.
I can't remember,
We'll come back to it.
Big
I will sing the song. Big A will come in and complain for me, We can't make it know, so we are talking about it and I don't know who's singing. Google it,
you know
man.
what I mean?
Anyway, so in all of this, though, you developed a friendship that lasted decades with someone I met much later, who became also a very good friend to me. Uncle Jimmy, we call him, Jimmy Cliff. So tell me about that friendship. Let's talk about it.
Okay. As I said, we were with the same company, Island Trojan.
Yeah.
Me and Jimmy go back a long way. I'm talking about the other day when I was at the funeral. And I met, some of his
family.
Family. And his first son, right? I can't swear that it's first son, but it's first son that I know of in the middle. Yeah. They said his daughter was 53, his first daughter was 53 years old. Yeah, and I thought to myself, wow.
Yeah.
It's a long time, and the son is older than her.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Aaron is. But, for instance, me and Jimmy went to a club one night. Because we used to go to nightclubs, parties together. He sung on my records. I mean, if you look at this backing vocal and that, you'll see Jimmy Cliff on
the album, The Best of.
So I sang on Harder They Come.
So he was doing backing vocals for you also?
Yeah, I do backing vocals.
And you do backing vocals for him?
That's how we used to live in the days.
So you say you were on the Harder They Come?
Oh yeah.
And he's on a few days?
Yeah. So we used to sing on each other's records. We used to go to parties.
What age group were you then? This is you a young man? Or?
He's not my big brother. He's a few years older than me. But we used to go all over the place.
Yeah.
So one night we went to this club. And went and danced with this girl and thing and come back and say, boy, Danny, she said she have a baby for me now.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's how he told you?
Yeah.
So he didn't know about it before?
No. But what happened, the girl came from Sheffield, which is weird in the country. Right, so of course went and did those shows all over the place. So after the club, 4 o'clock in the morning, we went to this girl's house to look on this baby.
Yeah, you were there to test. You were there to check DNA.
Yeah, man. We go up and look, and the baby about 3-year-old and the cot asleep and thing.
And what did you say to him?
I said nothing, and time come out and we'll go home.
Yeah.
Him go. Next day, him called him, said, Danny, this boy, down here now. He said, come down. He said, come down now. Come on.
Yeah.
Now, me and Jimmy live far, Him live in Chelsea, and me live in Pinner.
Yes.
So, go down the man. And said to himself, in favor me. He said, kind of.
It look like you.
He said, but look at. Jimmy had a little finger.
Little finger, yes.
And the picnic at the same. And from that, everything went fine. Started to look after him and the mother get together again. I had about 3 kids afterward.
Yes.
With her. About 3 kids after her. Then the daughter now, his first daughter. I'm involved in that as well.
Yes.
And me and him are the first one. I see the first son. The daughter now We was at the club one night. I'm sitting, boy, because Jimmy, one time Jimmy said, if you look African, no girl want brown skin on them thing. You have to have that African look.
Yes, yeah.
So I brought her over and introduced him.
Yes.
And that's...
Oh, so he was just meeting her there? Right. And
his first daughter's mother.
Right.
I introduced. So it's that kind of way. We'll go back way.
Yes. Far. And you said you were also at the funeral. So you've seen over the years how the music developed, and especially how Jimmy, the role that he played in that. I want to want you to spend some time and talk about his own impact on the music.
Jimmy, Jimmy's is a very entertaining act. Not a lot of Jamaicans. When Jimmy was in prime, young prime, he was like the Michael Jackson of reggae music, or dance. Yes. Jimmy could have danced, like.
Yes, I've seen the videos. Yeah.
Listen, man, in Jimmy's time, don't go on stage after him.
Yes.
He was like the Michael Jackson of reggae when come on to dancing. He was phenomenal. And you see, Jimmy didn't put himself in. You can't really say it's a reggae singer. If you listen to most of Jimmy Cliff's hit songs, this genre is very
wide.
Yeah.
At the funeral, Ziggy Marley talked about how his father might not have been who he became were it not for Jimmy Cliff. I mean, that was quite something, because we've always said that, and we've had those conversations with Jimmy himself. It's also widely written about, but to hear Ziggy stand up and acknowledge that. What did you think when you heard that?
Yeah, I mean, that was nice. That was nice of him to say that, because he could have not said it.
Right.
But I have to tell the truth.
I kind of like that about Ziggy, I see the way he is, just the way he operates with the elders who was there, around about the time of his dad or even before. And we see how he's operating now with Burning Spear. Almost like a son in their interaction.
Exactly.
I really like that. Yeah. Did you meet up with Burning Spear at any time? Did you come across Burning Spear?
No, but Bob I've met a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. People just come to my house in Jamaica, in England. And
come to your house?
Yeah, man.
Bobby Marley?
And I used to go to...
No, you just said that so nonchalant like it's nothing.
No, but, remember Bob wasn't really huge at them.
It don't matter, Danny Ray. I know about your relationship with Jimmy Cliff, and I should have known that if you were that close to Jimmy, you would have known. So Bob come to you. So when Bob was in England that time,
I took him. I remember one time they were looking for some football gears, so I took them in. I had this little BMW, and I took them to Harrods.
To Harrods?
Yes, took them to Harrods.
Football?
Yeah, to buy some football gears.
Expensive football?
In them sport,
Expensive football?
No, they wanted shorts and football and boots and things.
And gears
like that.
and so on.
I took them to the sport department.
Yeah.
And we were there, walking around and looking, and not one person come and say, "Can I help you?"
Wow. Well, that's why I exclaimed Harrods.
Listen to me, man, because, them did look kind of dread them time.
Dread and terrible.
But Seacoast,
Who are there? Who are the people there?
Okay,
so Bob was there.
Me, Bob, Skill Cole, listen, like a car full up.
Yes.
Right, Skill, Chico Patterson, one of the family man brothers, Pack and Skill.
Yes.
Skill Cole. And we in the Harrods walk up and down, and nobody. Bob said, come out of this what situation, man.
They probably wait, look at them, probably afraid of
Yes. So
because them locks the dread and terrible.
What do you mean?
And those people were racist anyway. So wow.
So it's up in the halls, then I've carried them to one of the sports shop in the halls, then, and then buy out the whole man's thank me so much for bringing them inside it.
Yeah, that's an important story to tell. That Harrods was racist from them times.
Oh yeah.
So that And you mentioned earlier, was it Freddie or Dennis Brown or both? Freddie McGregor that you...
Oh, yeah.
Freddie?
Yeah, I have to record a couple of songs with Freddie as well. You know.
And did you meet Dennis Brown at any time?
To record a song with Dennis Brown as well. Yeah, Dennis Brown was very good friend. He never see me anywhere without run come up. He used to call me D-Ray.
Yeah, but then we can't underestimate the role that you played as A&R at Jetstar. I mean, you were the one sourcing the music, getting the music out there, which was the reggae music. And a lot of these artists that we're talking about became, their music became popular in the space for many reasons, not least of which was what Jetstar was doing.
Yeah, ma'am, because we started to, we just publicize them, let them people know who they were and, even paid like the pirate station. We supported the pirate station by both giving them records and giving them money to keep them things going, to buying them transmitter, so we get played for the artists. You know.
One of the things I found out about Jimmy Cliff, Uncle Jimmy, in the short time that I knew him, and we used to talk a lot. Right, the first time he called me, I told you, I hung up the phone on him because Jimmy Cliff sound like a young boy on the phone. He don't sound like Jimmy Cliff. So I was working just like this morning here, and the phone ring, and the operator say, Jimmy Cliff is on the line. And I said, Jimmy who? She said Jimmy Cliff. And I said, no, it's not the Jimmy Cliff. So let me say who is pretending to be Jimmy Cliff. And the person come on and, came on and started talking to me and say, I'm Jimmy Cliff. And I said, which Jimmy Cliff? I said, Jimmy Cliff, the singer. And I hung up the phone because I thought, okay, here it is now. So I don't have no time for this. Somebody's pretending to be Jimmy Cliff. And he called back and we went through all of that. And so that's many years ago. And he must do a whole lot of something to convince me, say it's him. And when we convinced him now, then we got into some conversations. But one thing I know of Jimmy, right, is that he was born in Adelphi, and Somerton is where he grew up, and he's always underscored to me, and this is like seriously, that anything to do with him, he doesn't want it in Kingston or Mobay or nowhere like that. It must be in Somerton. He says, we have to carry it home to the people. And so I have had this question in my heart since, the funeral and the whole thing at the National Arena and so on, as to what do you think, and I heard Minister Grange, and I don't think she's lying, she said everything was done the way Jimmy wanted it. But do you think he would have wanted to have something in Somerton?
I listen, I know exactly where you're coming from. Right, I know what Jimmy feel about Somerton.
Yes.
Because when Jimmy started building that house down there, we used to think that, Jimmy, okay, you can come back and live somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because, he was, and I knew you would want it to be buried in Somerton and this
funeral service, all of it in Somerton.
I know that, but I don't know.
We're not quite sure what happened.
I don't even know what's going on, and I don't even know if some of the kids know what's going on.
Okay. Okay. So there is that. Uncle Jimmy, there is that. I hope that Somerton can, remember Jimmy Cliff in a way that he would want. He loves that place.
Yeah, man.
And I know also for the house in Somerton, he wanted it, to be. He was very private about that space. I've been there a few times, but he was really private about it. And one of the things that we did when we were doing the tribute for him was to require of the authorities, one, to name a street after him, which they did in Montego Bay. And two, for a museum at his home there in Somerton, and so that discussion, was thrown around a bit. I don't know if maybe this is the time, and not for them to do a museum of Jimmy Cliff in Kingston.
Well, I've heard,
but to do it in Somerton.
I've heard rumors that it will be done at the house in Kingston.
That would be a shame. That would be a shame.
Because Jimmy I know Jimmy wanted to make Somerton like 9 miles.
Yes. Exactly.
The tourists come there.
And yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
that is a dream.
That is exactly his dream. And so this is why the museum must be there. And this is why the Jimmy Cliff Mausoleum must be there. And this is why Jimmy Cliff for the memory. It must be that you make the pilgrimage to Somerton. Anyway, let me take a break. We have to say that here is Danny Ray, who has known Jimmy Cliff for years, introduce him to the mother of his first daughter, make him know, say, yes, the first baby look like you, is your child. Record together, backup singer for each other. And he knows this. And then me later, who we've had some intimate conversations regarding what he wants his legacy to be. And Somerton is the place. Let me take a quick break. In tribute to and because of the hurricane.
It sounds very fresh, doesn't it? They recorded.
Yes.
And I'm going to give you a surprise.
Yes.
This record was done from Gilbert.
Oh, really? So this is...
And I just decided to re-release it.
Wow. Fitting, hold on. Of course, the very same sentiments, the very same emotions.
Exactly.
So fitting at this time.
Exactly.
Wow. So you have re-released this?
Yes, it's going to be, not yet, it's going to be released in January.
Okay.
You know?
But in the meantime, here it is.
Yep.
Love it, love it. Great work as usual. I think we need some more time to just go into the history of the music, considering that you've been there every step of the way. You've seen the changes. We didn't even talk about, you must have run into Ernie Ranglin at some time, Uncle Ernie.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yes. we really need to have a longer conversation. 4 hours without apology about just how we are, how come we've reached here where we are, what the journey has been like, the different iterations, and just the changes that we're seeing now.
And what it could be like if we take the music seriously and what we've got.
Yes.
What we've got, we don't know what we have.
Wow.
Sad.
It is sad. It is sad. It's been appropriated all over because Japan came in and they just learned everything. They no longer need Jamaican artists to go there to perform.
Oh,
they've got a replica of everybody.
Oh, that's another story. We could go on and on and
yes,
on.
we'll talk that story later on. Thank you so much. Say hi to Yvonne.
Will do.
Thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate the fact that you could this morning. We've been threatening to do this for a while, but here we are towards the end of 2025. So Happy New Year when it comes.
Thank you. Same to you and family.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Danny. All right, let's take this from the top again. Danny Ray. We never talk about the film producing side, film actors. We show you acting. How did they come?
No.
Which one?
Moon Over the Alley.
Moon Over the Alley. Where was it filmed?
In London.
Okay, so we're gonna look for it, right? Yes. Which part you play? What you played in it?
I play like a Jamaican coming to England with my little grip and
okay, Moon Over the Alley. Look out for it. Producer, singer, songwriter, Danny Playboy Ray. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you very much.
I'm not hearing her.
Grand Rising, yes.
Grand Rising, my sister. There you are. Last time we spoke, you were in the studio, but you're online almost every Sunday. Participating and texting and listening, and I really appreciate your presence. When we were in Sierra Leone, we were heading out. Sierra Leone is like 9 hours ahead of the US where you are, and we were heading out one morning to go into a space that I know we needed spiritual guidance, and I called you and I said, yeah, Fina, and you were sleeping, half asleep, or wait, I don't know, but you were in bed. And it was early morning, like probably 1 a.m. your time. And I said, we need a libation, Queen Mother. And you said, give me a minute. Thank you so much for that. Because you immediately got up and what you said was so important to us, those of us who were in that space at that time, as you poured libation before we headed out into town. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, I give thanks. I give thanks for being available. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate
energy.
I really appreciate you. One of the things I want to look at with you is, and I know this is your forte, this is exactly what you do, this is a lot of what you do globally, this is tied into it, which is to say, to look at the times, to look at the year as we move from one year into another, and to do the readings too for the years. And though this is not the usual reading, because we haven't asked you to do that yet, I'm sure you'll come back and do that for us. But talk to us about the year that we're coming out of, 2025, numerology, from a numerology perspective, and that we're going into, and also from a spiritual perspective.
Okay, thank you. Well, number 9 year, when you add up 2025, it added up to a 9, and that is a year of very, very important, significant for us spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, because it's the end. Because when 9 is over, then we begin with 10, which is a 1, and we begin all over again. So number 9 gave us the opportunity to go back and look at some of the things that we have been involved in and faced and were part of, knowing, willingly or unwillingly, from 9 years ago. So it's the things that we start in the number 1 year, it ends in a number 9, because we get to graduate. We get to look at all of the things, the strengths, the weaknesses, the missteps, the blessings, unrecognized healing that we've done through whatever came up on us. It's like, when you go to the beach and everything, the tide comes in, it drags in a whole lot of things, and when the water goes back out, look and say, oh my God, look at all these things that were there. So that's what happens in the number 9, is that everything that we have done, we have experienced in the past 9 years, we get an opportunity to check and look and say, okay, do I need this? No, I don't need that. Let me throw that back. Do I need this? Yes, let me hold this. So you save this. So you have like a giveaway and a throwaway pile and a pile that you're keeping for yourself. Mm-hmm. And so this year gave us an opportunity to look at us politically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. If the things that showed up for us this year is things that we've been dragging or things that have been empowering us. So it's been a very powerful year that we had to see and know who and what is truth, and give it a name. Give the truth, the name of what it is, and be gentle with ourselves. We had to be gentle with ourselves, mm-hmm. and know that whatever is happening to us is an opportunity for us to look at God and say, okay, so this is what I'm facing. This is what I got. And so now number 1 is coming in to know what you're bringing with you to set up for the next 10 years. So it's very, very powerful. Number 1 year, this year coming 2026, is amazingly powerful, because you get to take with you the knowledge, the understanding more so, mm-hmm. and the feeling of just knowing that you are ready to set the course of action that you came on earth to do, to be an empowerment. Mm-hmm.
For persons who are not, au fait with numerology and don't understand why we say 2025 is number 9, it's completion, 2026 is number 1, it's beginning, explain that for us, Queen Mother.
Okay, every number has a vibration and has an energy, because now, everybody is seeing the AI saying energy and that. We have known this. African understanding for centuries, billions of years, being the originator of culture, of creation, we know the energy of a number, the energy that exists. Each number has a frequency. Each number has an energy. Each color in the universe has a frequency. When you put on black, you feel a certain way. When you put on white, you have a certain energy. When you have on red, you have a different energy. When you have on blue, you have an energy. And so each number resonates within each one of us. The day that you're born is the day that you begin a frequency or an energy field that's going to take you through. So it's not whether you believe it or not. It's mathematically correct. Mm-hmm. If you look at math, you see that it has a number. And
it's correct as the Fibonacci principle. For those who are into the Fibonacci principle, I know that this exists. It is as correct as that.
Yes, it is. It's no woo woo woo. It's fact. Yeah, this is fact.
Yeah. So how do you arrive at 9 and how do you arrive at 10? How does that happen? How do we know that 2025 was 9? What's the calculation?
Well, you add up the numbers of 2025.
So 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5. That's
right,
9.
and that equals 9, right. And that's how we come up with that. And then the next number now is number 1. You add up 2026.
2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6, and that's 1. All right, hold a line for me, please. Yoruba High Priestess Yefine is on the line. Yes. We're talking about moving from 2025 into 2020 from a spiritual perspective, a numerology perspective, but just looking at the 2 years and to talk about how you deal with going into 2021. One of the things you have said, Queen Mother, is that it gives you an opportunity to look at what happened in the 9 years past and then to make decisions about what you carry over into year 1. But that's not so easy to do, is it?
No, it's not, because well, let me correct myself. It is easy. It's easy when you know that you as and when I'm saying you, all of us have the capacity of connecting to God's source. All of us have the capacity of acknowledging that the sun is going to shine whether we like it or not. It's going to rain whether we like it or not. And so tapping into that expression of the divine that knows that everything that we require is here and available to us, it becomes easy when we tap into that understanding. That, you know, if the sun, you can say, I don't want it to shine because I'm going to be hot and I'm going to get burned up. Well, the sun has its duty and its job. So the best thing for you to do is carry an umbrella, you know, with you, and take some water so that you can hydrate, or some coconut water to hydrate. Don't curse the sun because it's coming out. And that we have a dry season. We know that in a dry season, then we learn how to do things to compensate for the fact that there's no rain. We know how to harness water. We know how to believe that we are the energy of God. And so in that moment of providing the plants with the water that is necessary. So we are all connected to the source, to God, to the universal principle of generosity. God, in its beautiful potential of giving us everything that we need, is there for us. It's difficult when we don't acknowledge it, and we're asking and begging and seeking and bending and not acknowledging that we have the right, the power, and the ability to just seek it, get it, grab it, look at it from a place of humility and thanksgiving. And the thing that connects us to knowing the expression of God is through meditation and breathing. When we slow down our breathing and we meditate and we send the frequency of not only hope, but understanding and acceptance that God is available to us, then we don't get hung up in dogma and saying that the way I see God is the right way, or the name that I give God is the wrong way. It is about all of us knowing that we have the ability to be the solution, the answer to everything that God sent us on earth to do, which is to enhance the life of everyone by being generous. Just like the sun is generous to us, we harness that energy and we are generous to others. The way that we serve God and we don't disrespect God is to share God's abundance and love by being a vehicle that reflects and shows that we believe and we know God, by being honest and good to each other and speaking your truth and using your activation of your body and the connection to God when we go into positions and places where we are the expression of everything that's going to bring balance, is just knowing that, you know what, I came here to add to this room. I came to add to this existence. I came to add to this experience, rather than I'm going out here and grab whatever I can get. The sun doesn't grab, the moon doesn't grab. It exists and is there for us to harness it and use it as good beings to bring peace and ultimately to bring love.
You mentioned a few times being honest with yourself. How critical is this as we go into this number 1 year in determining how to go? The need to be honest with self.
Being honest with yourself is acknowledging, taking responsibility for whatever it is that you see, that you feel that you can add to, Speak your truth and go and be honest about it and say what it is that you know that will enhance the room and will change the room, because you'd be surprised that sometimes the very thing that you're thinking and you're brave enough to say, other people are waiting for you to drink from that fountain of reality and become the movement that is going to change the entire expression of God in the universe. All of us can be that voice.
So that as you reflect on 2025 then, you've also said part of this honesty include naming whatever you see, naming the thing. And that resonates with me, because you can't cure or change or know what to throw away if you haven't diagnosed what the problem is, naming it. So you said that is also very important.
That's the most important, is to name it what it is. Call it exactly what it is. It is someone else's idea of what you may feel that is not working for you, but is their truth. And if it's not yours, then it's your time to speak on it. It's your time to act on it, because God's expression, or whatever it is that holds us to make sure that when we sleep at night and we're breathing and we're sleeping, something is connecting us to something bigger than us. And the fact that we are alive, it doesn't matter who you believe or what name you call it. The fact that you know that God exists, or the force of breathing exists, and the force of oxygen versus carbon monoxide, all of that you know is truth. Then you speak it, you give it a name, because you cannot heal what, like you said, you can't heal what you don't know. And so once you know it, take responsibility, and number one, be gentle with yourself. Be honest with yourself, and the things that happen in the back, just say, look, everything happened for a reason, a blessing, and a season. So everything is a blessing or a lesson. And once you look at it and it says, okay, the lesson we learned for the past 10 years is this. And the lesson that we learned is to speak truth. And when I didn't speak, this is what happened. And the blessing is that you are still here to do better, to be a better expression of your divine self, because we are all divine. We have the expression of God in us. We have water, earth, fire inside of us. That makes it that we connect to the universal energy of God.
And talking about the universal energy of God, Mother, Father, God, if you will, the number one year, which is 2026, it allows for these kinds of reflection and reflexivity and metacognition, doesn't it? Because it's a physical and spiritual space of facilitating change.
Yes. And the power of the number one is that you don't have to think about it. The energy of the number one is going to help you. It's going to help you to get the courage that if you didn't ever spoke before, it will get you to say, okay, 10 years ago or for the past 10 years, I was believing that this was this. And then now you said, no, I've had enough. I'm going to do different for myself and for my people and for God. I'm going to not disrespect God by knowing that I am the voice of change and I'm not going to do it. That's disrespecting God, because God is holding you accountable to speak the truth, which is the truth of love and peace. And so the number one year, that's the thing, is like a tide. It's so beautiful that God in its magnificence has created a place where the number one energy can just glide you. Just set that intention and just ride it. Do the things that you would not have been able to accomplish in a number 9. Put it in number 1 and just glide with it and says, okay, this is the year that I will show up as the expression of God in my marriage, in my community, in my nation, in myself, as an expression of God. And the things that I'm going to stand up and do this year is going to carry me into knowing that I got value, I have worth, and that I am a difference in the world. So sometimes we can't, reciprocate because, sometimes people can't reciprocate because they can't give you what they can't give themselves. And those who are at war with themselves can't give you peace. Those who betray themselves can't give you loyalty. Those who lie to themselves can't give you honesty. So we got to see them as they are and not who we wish them to be, and let us be that source of aspiration for people to aspire to walk in life as you do, because you speak and you represent the Spirit of God, which is for us to do everything that we can to be a light, a guide, an impression, an aspiration of everyone that comes into our space.
Thank you so much, Queen Mother Yefine Efunbolade. As usual, clear, concise, to the point, and spiritually charged. Thank you so much, my sister.
Thank you.
Now, quite a few Christians, especially charismatic Christians, and others too, are totally against conversations like the one we just had when you're talking about numbers and the power of numbers, whether it is numerology or the Fibonacci principle, or in some cases, mathematics, because at the end of the day, it is all mathematics. But there's something that we should know, and that is, before the King James Version, every Bible before the King James Version, whether it was in the margins in terms of the notations or it was in the text, numerology and astrology were two of the strongest themes. And some of it still creep through. Some of it has crept through in the King James Version, because we talk about 7 being the perfect number of God. We talk about 12 or 13 in terms of disciples. We talk about an entire book of the Bible that's called Numbers. There's an entire book in the Bible called Numbers. And that crept through. If it was up to King James and because they didn't really translate the Bible, you know, they just kind of took things out and added things and so on. There was no translation to speak of. So basically what happened is that King James, and he talks about this in his book Demonology, and even if you look at the preambles leading up to what the bishops were told to do, he was very insistent, especially in his book Demonology, that numerology and astrology are two wicked things. This was because of his own personal experience, nothing else. It had nothing to do with God or anything like that. He just didn't want to have people looking at God's perfect numbers, and he was especially and a lot of them after that, including Catholic priests and so on, had a problem with numerology, because know the number of the beast, because the number of the beast is a man, and so on. So it's all about numbers, you know. The Bible is all about numbers, whether it is 666, whether it's 7, whether it's 12, and so on. So King James, in Demonology, he talks about the extent to which these should not creep into, and they should not be in the so-called Word of God. And so he took out a lot of that, took them out directly or took them from the margins. So when you spend all of your time defending and pumping iron about the King James Version, know that you are defending a version of the Bible that was deliberately created to keep you in ignorance, to enslave you, and to ensure that you do not understand God and the universe. Now, there are many Bibles before the King James Version, so I'm not telling you not to read the Bible. I am saying read the Bible and love King James. And yes, I got your messages, so I definitely will be doing a series of programs on King James. This is number 1 year. Number 9, you notice all the veils are coming off, or everything. Do you notice how everything that is to be exposed is being exposed? Are you taking note? Are you taking note? And a lot of it seemed to be coming from left side. But we are in that time, in that moment, spiritually and otherwise, of the unveiling. So how we move from here is up to us. So to my Christian friends, go back and read and study King James. You have to study King James, the historical figure. King James is not somebody that come out of the mists of antiquity, you know. He was just the other day. King James is just the other day. In other words, if we just look back, move the veil 2-3 places, we see him. He's just the other day. He's a man who had a whole lot of flaws and weaknesses, and he didn't hide that from us. He wrote books and books and books and books, and one of the critical seminal book that he's written is called Demonology. In that, he talks to himself about his own fears, especially his fear of not being seen as a voice of God on earth.
It's $2,000, and if you're a resident of St. Anne and you can show with your ID, you get a 20% discount.
So what about St. Mary?
$2,000, just St. Anne.
No, this is a problem, because St. Mary and St. Anne is all really one parish. And, anyway, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that. But when you cross White River Bridge, you're in St. Mary. You recognize that is St. Anne, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. But the point remains is that the cost is a deterrent. It's prohibitive. It's really high. I mean, 2,000. So you can think if you have 5 people, if you have mother, father, and say 2 children, just to enter, and you don't eat it and you can't carry your food, that is prohibitive.
That I understand, but it is also important to note that there are facilities, services that are developed and maintained around the beach itself. So they're not necessarily paying to enter the beach facility, or they're not paying for the sea itself, but they're paying for lifeguards, bathrooms, security, cleaning, insurance, maintenance, and so forth.
Mm-hmm. All right, Warner, I'm not going to put you on the spot because I know you didn't come to talk about these, and I would like to give you time to, for us to spend a longer time. I invite you in the studio. We open the phone lines. You hear from the people who used to use it or are still using it, so you have a better idea of what people are saying in terms of their ability to access the beach. Because I know that you didn't come to talk about it, and I understand that.
No problem.
But can you guarantee me this, that you'll accept our invitation and come in studio to have a conversation?
Sure, most definitely.
All right, we look forward to that. Thank you so much. And I hope that whoever reported this to you, that you'll have a call back to them and say, listen, reported speech must be correct.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Office and Events Manager at Puerto Rico Beach. Last week I had this conversation with Dr. Devon Taylor, and it's not just Puerto Rico Beach that called. It was phenomenal, the response that we got from just national and globally, but they were not all positive. A lot of them were pushing back at Jamaicans who claim that they have a right to access their rivers and their beaches. And so we are complicit in a lot of ways in our own genocide, as I said at the beginning of the program, that there are many Jamaicans who do not think that we have a right. Not only that, a basic human rights, they do not think that, but not only that, they make it political. So this time around, they make it anti-JLP to talk about access to the beaches. But remember, we have been talking about access to the beaches from 1990. And so that every time the government changes, I become PNP or JLP, depending on which government in power. So if it's PNP in power, they say I'm JLP, and I have to live with that for as long as the JLP in power. And I cannot get that out of PNP mind. And if JLP in power, then I am PNP, and I cannot get that out of JLP mind. As Peter Tosh says, I am not a politician, but I fear I bear the consequences. Still without shelter, unable to access nutritious food, and are still in dire straits after Hurricane Melissa. IRFM's Hurricane Melissa drive is still underway. The hurricane devastated the homes and lives of many of our brothers and sisters, and we're still appealing to you to give generously to the IRFM 11 Cocoa relief drive. People in affected areas urgently need rice, flour, sugar, cornmeal, non-perishable food items such as oats, crackers, etc., canned food like sardines, mackerel, tarpaulin, solar lights, battery or solar-powered radios. Personal hygiene products are also welcome. You can drop your donation at IRFM at Coconut Grove St. Anne or 1B Courtney Walsh Drive in Kingston. We'll get your donation to those who need it. A small donation from you will make a big impact on somebody's life. The IRFM 11 Cocoa Relief Drive. Let's get Jamaica back on its feet quickly and make things airy still. By the way, we do not need any more donation of clothing. We don't need any more water. Thanks to some of our donors, Jamaica Culture Tour Enterprise, Osborne Simpson from Trelawney. So once again, just reminding you that we still have a lot of Jamaicans on the island who are still urgently in need of rice, flour, sugar, cornmeal, non-perishable items, canned food, tarpaulin, solar lights, battery or solar-powered radios, and personal hygiene stuff. And remember, you can drop that off right here at IRFM Coconut Grove or in Kingston at 1B Courtney Walsh Drive. And we'll get the donations to those who are in need. DJ Sunshine is doing a brilliant job leading this process. And it's not always announced, but you know, I came here last week and she was here before me, so it means she probably got here at about 4 o'clock, heading out into the hinterlands with the team, just to get the donations to those who need it most. So the RFM team is doing a pretty good job of getting everything we're asking for to the communities that really need it. You can do that, a personal reading. So you could go to yeyefine.com, www.yeyefine.com. All right? You know, I want to say something again, you know. We must reclaim mathematics. They have made mathematics so distasteful to our people, so that here in Jamaica, I mean, I suffered that. Afraid of maths like puss. Don't want you nothing about maths. Don't send if me ever add it up, don't tell me nothing. Writing poetry in maths exam and all them something there. Don't want nothing to do with the figures, nothing to do with the numbers, nothing at all. But we must reclaim mathematics. It was in my adult life that I reclaimed quantum physics. Right? And you hear me talk about that a lot here on this program. That I teaching myself quantum physics. I don't know it, I go, but it'll go. And I'm not stopping. Because we have to reclaim the chemistry, the chemistry. And we have to reclaim the quantum physics, we have physics, and we have to reclaim mathematics. Mathematics came out of our brains. Our ancestors gave the world mathematics. I am going to talk again or mention again the Lebombo women. There is a place in the Bantu regions, because it's not just South Africa, Southern Africa, right? The Lebombo region, where there is a mountain that's called the Lebombo Mountain, where before time, and on par with Mesopotamia, these women started calculating their menstrual cycles in tandem with the moon because of what they noticed. And they start that calculation by making note, and how they took the notes is that they got a bone of the baboon, animal bone, and they made the strokes, and they calculated that. So the Lebombo bones actually show precise mathematical calculations that feeds back to the menstrual cycle of the Bantu women. These women were from Lebombo. they came to Jamaica, and that is why that word remains with us. They also knew that one or two are we who tap back into our spiritual selves, our genetic memory, would seek out the word and what it means, regardless of the fact that they made it a bad word, so that you can't say it. And they knew that we were going to seek the word out. And that once we began to seek the word out, it would not only take us to the gods, because these were also names of the gods, but it would take us also to the kings, because these were also names. This word was also a name, or name of the kings. But more importantly, that it would take us to them, the women, who were the mathematicians, who calculated their menstrual cycles on the Babu bone, that them later on called the Lebombo bone. Now, the Lebombo bone is a scientific existence of a bone that is written, documented in mathematics, every maths, not African maths. Just generally, if you Google the Lebombo bone, it will tell you what it is. I know that there's another bone that, what name again? That the Ashango, I think, bone, but it's not. It has been found that it is not older than the Lebombo bone, and that bone also has the calculations, you know. But the Lebombo bones is the bones that the first mathematics has been traced back to. And me say it, you know, because, you know, I'm just doing the research and realize that white people are tell with that. I may say then wait, then white people I make this a mistake and I tell her that. Because you know then thief everything. So I said then, how come we have those who are documenting history who are white? How come they are making this mistake? So I spent a long time on the research of this. Everywhere that I could go, I went. And I made phone calls to everywhere that I could have made the phone calls. Only to find that, yes, they make this one slip. So the origin of mathematics, the furthest that we can trace this back to is to the Lebombo women, the Lebombo bone, and the Lebombo region. We're talking about Bantu women. So we must not be afraid of mathematics. We must not be afraid of numbers. Even when we talk about the Fibonacci principle, we don't need Fibonacci to tell us everything a pattern. Because we knew that. This is our life, this is who we are, this is our spirituality, this is our religion. This is how we see things in patterns. You only have to look at Kemet and Congo and Uganda. I'm not talking about ancient Africa now, you know, from out of the mists of antiquity. That this is how we viewed life. This is part of our spiritual experience. So we must not be afraid to own numbers and see the frequency that numbers vibrate on. And colors too. Everything vibrates at a frequency. Music vibrates on a frequency. When you go IRI FM, the F in IRI FM mean frequency, and the M mean modulation, frequency modulation, right? So everything vibrates on a frequency. This is how African people understood themselves and existed on a vibrational level. This is why we communicate with the drum. This is when you play the music, which is a drum. It vibrates with our heartbeat, and we become one with the drum, and the drum tells us what's going on over the other hill. Sam Sharp and them did understand that. That's why them did it on hill, pan top of hill, pan top of hill. You understand what I say? We vibrate on a frequency. Music vibrates on a frequency. What's happening to Jamaica now is that somebody has retuned Jamaica. And we want to know who retuned the nation. So the music and the frequency at which we are vibrating on is driving us to kill each other, curse each other, hate each other, hate with self. Everything is JLP and PNP. Everything a cuss. From the synagogue of Satan to the synagogue that they meet in on Sundays, to the churches, everybody a cuss. The preachers who talk are cussing. You notice how the preachers them sound, those who preaching? Everybody a cuss. Go to parliament, same thing. Go up on the road, same thing. Taxi driver a cuss same way. People a cuss same way. And not only that, children killing them parents. And I'm not saying all of this has to do with the music, I'm just saying that we're vibrating on a wrong frequency. Somebody retuned the nation. I don't know it's who. I don't know what instrument them a play. But them retune the nation. And maybe we can retune and recalibrate with mathematics, with numbers. And the year 1, 2026 is a year 1. It gives us an opportunity to retune. I don't know who called the game, but somebody retuned the nation. We are vibrating on the devil's frequency. We're vibrating on the frequency of narcissism. We're vibrating on the frequency of sociopaths. We're vibrating on the frequency of the dark triad, if you will. Psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists. It's that frequency we are vibrating on. That's the devil's frequency. That's evil. It's satanic. They have us all in a ritual. Support the beach case. I'm not seeing this. What this is? Complaint number SA 2022 CV. Do I need to write all of that? All right. But anyway, join the stand-up rally for Mommy Bay Beach. A beach cannot be sold. So there is a number for the beach case, right? And it is number SA 2022 CV 00892. Saturday, that means you can go check it. Saturday, January 3, 2026 at Sidewalk at Mommy Bay Beach in St. Anne between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. The stand-up rally for Mommy Bay Beach. This is happening Saturday, January 3, 2026, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Baruka had a birthday, a solar return yesterday. Mota, you don't know. We're there in spirit, but you know our thing family-wise all the time for your solar return. And Shamara Preston had a solar return yesterday too. It's not yesterday, no, December 26th. It's December 26th. So today is what day? 28th? It's Boxing Day for the two of them. December 28th. So Moja, happy solar return. Shamara, happy solar return. So this is how we're saying goodbye for today. We'll be back with you in 2026, inshallah. In the meantime, you see what we'll go out with is the frequency we're talking about now. We say cat core, a cat record point to retune the nation, to retune the music. It depends on a thing. The frequency is up and the vibration is just wrong. And music can heal, music can hurt, music can harm, music can cause diseases. No, before you start saying no go so. Go read up on it and make we talk next time. Frequency when music vibrate on can impact you. That's why when you listen to some you fall asleep. When you hear some, it affects you on a different level. You understand? And it's not just we're not about just the lyrics now, we are talking about the music itself and the frequency where the thing tuned on. And I am telling you as we go out into 2026, that Jamaica has retuned the music to the devil's frequency. So we want to retune back the thing. Hey, Mr. Big A. How you doing? I don't know music more than Big A, right? In the space that we are now, there's nobody inside here that know music more than Big A. Big A, don't music vibrate on a frequency? Exactly. He says everything vibrates on a frequency. So that's what that include music. So music can harm and music can heal. Right, Big A say yes, so we're good. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Biggie don't say it's and you know him now have no conversation with me about it. I'm doing to a shift. Anyway, so let me shift the argument. I mean, Biggie, why did because you know there was a time when we always did say third world was ahead of their time. Why were we saying that?
Because of the work.
Because of the work, meaning what? Well, it's a very serious question. I mean, no, it sounds flippant, but it's very serious because, I mean, time is time and time and space is everything. But the commentary and analysis on third world always seem to go to the same place, which is to say they were ahead of their time or are ahead of their time.
Well, ahead of their time, when anything is ahead of its time, I believe that at some point you would have come to realize what the persons were doing, what the persons were saying.
In hindsight.
In time, and you're saying, but hey, what third world did I say this a long time ago? Third world did sound like this a long time ago. They're not the only persons who were ahead of their time. Jimmy Cliff was ahead of his time. Jacob Miller was ahead of his time. And Peter Tosh, when from a production perspective, when you listen to a Peter Tosh song from any Peter Tosh album, you're wondering, hey, how was he thinking about putting all of these sound effects into a song where it was at a time when these things were unheard of, impossible? That you could do? So Third World, for example, managed to have lots of arrangement in their music, which at the time when two chords and that kind of thing was the prevalent and the prominent way to go. Third World had lyrics that had a higher meaning than just a simple everyday understanding. It was philosophy. It was spirituality on another level. It was evoking self-pride. You know, when you think about like 1986, 1865.
1865,
96 degrees in the shade.
Right,
you are you know, you're exposed to what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. You know, the persons weren't singing like that and arranging like
and I don't think there's another song about the Morant Bay War. I don't know if there's another song about the Morant Bay War.
Probably not.
Right, I've been searching.
Right. So as a result of that, you know, they were called ahead of their time because of what they were doing in the space.
I'm wondering if we would be closer to saying that they were disruptors and innovators, as opposed to saying people are, because when you come into space and you disrupt it and you innovate and you change.
Yeah, man. But why they probably were not seen as disruptors at the time was because nobody was necessarily paying attention, right? So if they had disrupted the space at the time and was championing it, but it was over time,
like Iron FM, which was was a disruptor,
right? Exactly. You know, so over time you start to realize, but hey, you know, when all of the other things start to, you know, shed and then the reality becomes, you know, stark, you start to say, but hey, that song them by Third World, the man them did right all along, but you just never, you just weren't paying attention. So that is why I don't
it's very well explained. Thank you.
Disruptors.
Yeah,
right.
it's very well explained, because I think it's a conversation worth having, because even while they were at their heights, you remember when them were showing at the yard out there, so 1990. People were saying that we were saying.
I worked 14 hours straight that night.
Was a night?
On air.
Yeah. So you never see the show?
No.
I mean,
rainfall, and it was Bob was supposed to come relieve me. But
Bob out there?
No, he was drafted. He was drafted by Carlio to
because rain was falling, we have to move everything inside.
I had to move it from outside to inside. So I
what
ended
a show.
Up doing like 14 hours.
I'm so sorry you missed it. It's one of the best shows of mine. You heard it.
I heard it.
Did you get a chance to come out sometime and peep?
The window.
Oh yes. The window.
We were upstairs.
True. What a show. What year was it?
1990.
1990?
It was 1990.
In the yard out there, sir?
Yes.
Third world.
Third world.
We never have place to put people.
No, man. It was
one of the sardine packed.
Yes. Yeah, man. It was.
But it's one of the best shows I've been to, man, in a long time. I mean, the reggae, I mean, I remember it as one of the best stage shows that I've been to.
It probably would have been. I have been to several other great third world shows. I don't know if you remember Explantation and Transmigration. Those were.
Which year?
No, man. These were before 1990s. These were the 80s. It was.
Okay, I was in church talking in tongues. What's the matter with you? How would I have
I wouldn't know this. I know this. I would know. I
feel with the Holy Ghost.
I was telling you that you know. These were exceptional shows by Third World.
Okay.
It was done in the form of a stage show, but it was only Third World members, you know.
Where?
It was dialogue.
Kingston or OG?
No, it played for a couple of nights.
Tour. Okay.
Yeah, man, it played for a couple of nights, especially in the corporate area, and they had taken it to OG at one point.
So it'll be the same kind of format at Chronics later. Because Chronics is a kind of I'm just saying, if for people who don't know what you're talking about, if it would have looked something like what Chronics did,
no,
after the first album,
probably not. They had electronic setup and they were interacting with computers.
Right, a whole lot of So you have not seen anything in Jamaica like it since?
No,
I heard that in time.
I heard that time.
And that's why I'm calling for Cat Core. I mean, no, it's a cat will hear this, you know. If Cat no listen, Cat will hear. Somebody will tell him, Cat, we're for retune the nation. Right. Are you me a call?
Oh, and you need him cello for do it?
Yes, you need him cello. You can't do it without the cello. You need him cello. Yeah. I think I asked you this before in the beginning. What is your favorite instrument?
I probably don't have one, you know. I probably
guitar.
If I had the opportunity to have learned formally trained in an instrument, it probably would have been the piano.
Really? Get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah, man, it would have been.
You're patient like that?
I am.
Well, he's a Taurian. I'm a Taurian too, but I don't get that.
It would have been. It would have been
the piano. Well, I'm a flute for me. It's a flute. Let me tell you already too. So I am
probably a flautist.
A flautist. I mean, I'm going to learn. You know, this is what I've promised myself. But anyway, listen again.
I like horns.
Right.
Hugh Masekela on the trumpet.
Oh yes, you remember when you let Masekela perform up a James Bond Beach? You were there.
Was it James Bond or was it Montego Bay?
James Bond.
I saw him twice then. I did see
yes, because I saw him in Mobe at Jazz Festival. And because he was at the FAO, you remember the food people, the FAO used to put on that massive show? He was there, man.
Yeah, man. And speaking of flutes, there is a Brazilian flautist. What's his name again?
Or guitarist.
No, man, a flautist who used to come here very often. He has a reggae album, as a matter of fact. Very celebrated.
Okay.
Herbie, man.
Oh, we used to play music a lot here too. What the album them there?
They're on my computer.
Can I get one before I go?
Yeah.
I mean, my time done, you know, but we can go to one. You know, interestingly, I used to have like all of his albums. When I was, maybe you introduced me to him. Because at that time you were teaching me how to play music. But I used to play him on the.
Which one should I find out?
What was the name of it? It's called Easy Skanking now, but it used to be called Cool Runnings. You remember that morning show that Kathy Owen used to do, and after Kathy's me. So I used to play him a lot, and I think Kathy used to play him too before me. Beginner plugging up near, you know. So the man they may wear a vibrate on the right frequency. All right. A minute there? A moment. Is it a Jamaican minute or a South African minute? Because South African minute is like half an hour and a Jamaican minute is like 25 minutes. We're good. All right. So what we need for those? Serato? Okay. Yeah. I'm proud of you, Biggie.
No, remember, I used to have an instrumental show, you know.
True. There you go.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
I apologize.
I used to have an instrumental show. I play the most instrumental on this station.
True. I will not argue. I used to play instrumental at 12 o'clock. Right off of the on stage. Because me had the first on stage on radio, you know that. That 12 o'clock in the Cool Runnings was called on stage. That was long before them other one.
History.
But them other one did come record we when we did that on stage.
I don't know, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we want to remind them other one.
No, the other one. Yeah.
That he was here.
He was here.
Recording us.
Okay.
Remember him did do the thing for you know. Remember the TV ad that IRFM did? Yeah man, there was a TV ad, a full TV ad.
Mm.
Is them other one recorded?
The other one.
And them other one came while I was doing on stage.
Okay.
So I just want to remind them other one.
The other one.
Oh, you know me, brethren.
Yeah, well, so I say good morning to the other one.
Them other, yeah. Good morning. Pick up yourself.
Pick up yourself.
We admire the work still. But you probably need to tell everybody, say, you know. Anyway. So me done. Me now got the road that I was about to go down. No. I have just plucked myself from it, and I'll say goodbye. Right. And Happy New Year when it comes.
Very same to you.
Thank you so much. Where you ringing in the New Year?
I'll be in St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands?
No.
I don't put it past you.
No.
Okay.
I'll be in St. Thomas.
What
There's an annual, Kid Street football finals and stage show.
Okay, who's behind it?
Stevie Face.
Okay, all right. That sounds good.
Right, so I'll give back to the
I'm heading to the hills, like Third World, where the air is fresh and sweet for some cool meditation. So I'll see you in the new year. This is always saying goodbye, making way for the big air inside of the Sunday sunshine. Big air can play some